Conversations for Self. My name is Simona, and here is where I share my experience with healing heartbreak and emotional trauma. I want to discuss the victim, the victim, the victim mindset, the victim mentality, the victim mode, being stuck in being a victim. And I want to talk about how um, being the victim mentally traps you into your pain, your suffering, and your brokenness. Being a victim, everyone loves a good tearjerker. Everyone loves a good overcoming story, a good overcoming testimony. The problem with that is that sometimes we become stuck in being a victim, and that becomes our identity. And we identify with the hurt and the pain and the suffering that we've gone through because we are garnering the attention, the affection, the empathy of others, which is a temporary fix. It is a temporary feel good fix. Because it's only for that moment. It's only for the times that you're retelling the story and the people are crying with you, hugging with you, just relating with you. You get that momentary feeling of validation. And of course, that validation is not coming from within. So the validation, again, is temporary. And then, of course, once you come down off of that high of a temporary fix and the temporary band-aid, then you're going to be in search of it again, because again, your validation is coming from outside of yourself. Now, again, I promote self-healing, and I promote self-awareness, and I promote using your pain to teach you a lesson. Now, in being a victim, again, that temporary fix, it's like it's akin to or similar to when something terrible happens, and of course you go to grab a drink or you go to grab whatever your vice is to cover it up. And the one thing that I always talk about when drinking or vicing your pain away is that once once you sober up, you now you have two problems. You have a hangover, and you still have the original problem because you are putting a band-aid over something. You're putting a band-aid on your heart that is requiring open heart surgery. And that is what healing is. It is open heart surgery. It is, painful. It is digging out those tumors, those places that are defective. It's replacing those faulty heart valves that are not allowing your heart in your life to flow. It is painful. It is because again, you must face the things that cause you pain, that you've been running from, that you've been hiding, that you again have been vicing away. Um, but again, being a victim, you're replaying the story. You're staying in that moment, those moments. This person did this to me. This person did that to me. I had this type of childhood. My mom was this. My father was this. My uncle did this. My aunt did that. My grandparents were. My family is. But my question is, how is being a victim serving you? How is that serving you? How is being stuck in pain serving you? How is reliving the trauma cycle serving you? Is it increasing your credit? Are you getting a deposit of $10,000 each time you retell your story? Are you happier? Is it improving your life? Is it taking you places that you want to go? Is it giving you wisdom, giving you knowledge? Is it uprooting you and moving you to a nicer area, nicer home? Is retelling your story getting you in a nicer vehicle? No. No, it's not. And again, when I share, I can share confidently, without judgment, because I used to be a professional victim myself. In my story, and people relating to me and relating to, my trauma and what I had been through, feeling like I was not alone, feeling like, yeah, I had, this group of people who who understood me. But again, once I got home, once I got alone, and once I was back behind closed doors, I was miserable again, because remaining a victim and retelling that story did not fix the problem. It did not put together the broken pieces. It did not heal the hurt, the pain. It did not smooth the trauma. It was not improving my life. And as a matter of fact, being in a lower, heartbroken, depressed state only made my life more miserable. It made my life worse. It made my life, it was just like, okay, so what's the point of life if it's just going to continue being a cycle of pain? Not that I would consider taking my life, but it did make me question really question, like, what is the point? Like, what is the point? And in questioning what is the point and looking at cycles of trauma, it then, it then depressed me. It then demotivated me, because again, I was praising my traumas, praising the heartbreak, praising the brokenness. And when you're doing that, that's what you see the world as. You see all of the brokenness, you see all of the trauma, and then you don't have a choice but to then mentally, just be in a place that, again, is not serving you. It is not improving your life in any shape, form, or fashion. Now, one thing about, trauma, heartbreak, brokenness, the things that happen to you are absolutely not your fault. The things that happened to me they weren't my fault. The things that happened to me, my responsibility was in transmuting and transforming that pain into something productive, using those lessons, to improve my life, so that I was in a place of abundance, I was in a place of happiness, I was in a place of, so that I could be, at peace and come home and be alone, and instead of being depressed and sad and lonely, I'm happy. I enjoy my solitude. I'm happy in my solitude. I'm at peace, and there is really nothing that can really add to that right now. Um, and that's really where I am urging everyone that is in search of peace and happiness to get to. It's not an easy task. It's not. Because again, we do have to work through those traumas. We do have to work through those pain. We do have to, work through the brokenness, to get to a whole place. And again, being in victim mode is not, absolutely not serving any good purposes, because it's your mindset. And if your mindset is stuck in, I'm a victim, everyone else is bad, everyone else is out to get me, everyone else is out to harm me, everyone else is going to break my heart. If that is where you are stuck, then unfortunately that is where you are stuck. If you're stuck there mentally, then your outward expectation, you're attracting that, because that's what you're looking for. that is where your vision is. So if that is what you are replaying in your mind, then that is what you're going to continue replaying in your life. It's again, like when you purchase something new, a car, a purse, shoes, and then all of a sudden you didn't see them before, but now that you possess it, you see it everywhere. um, Again, just using metaphors to bring home how the mind is working. And again, if you're looking for failure, you will absolutely find it. If you are expecting failure, you will absolutely find it. If you are looking for trauma, it will absolutely find you. If you have your guards up to not be hurt again, to not be disappointed again, to not be, in any kind of pain again, if that is what you are looking out for and attempting to prevent, you are actually going to attract that to you, because again, where your eyes go, that is where you go. And another metaphor, when you're driving, if you're distracted all of a sudden and your eyes are averted to something off of the side of the road, you'll notice your car starts going in that direction too, and then you have to correct. Again, that is just how our minds work. It is a mental it is a mental thing. It is a mental mind shift. It is a change in thought pattern. And it takes practice. It takes consistent, deliberate practice to get your mindset to change. And again, as I always say at the end of all of my videos, because it cannot be said enough, that emotional healing, uh, true self-love, learning how to truly love yourself, stop beating up on yourself by being a victim. But again, emotional healing, true self-love are very necessary in order to have a happy, peaceful, successful, abundant life.